The student expects 4 LEDs to flash in synchrony from code that uses a list to hold the pin numbers. But the LED on pin 5 stays on and none flash. Here's the code. Pause and try to troubleshoot before I do. At the top of the code, the declaration of the list has errors in the syntax. The word list is not part of declaring a list. Instead, the open-close brackets after the name indicates it's a list. Let's pause here to understand this list. Anytime we have a list where the values are similar to the indices, it's important to have the situation straight in our mind. The list has 4 elements that represent 4 pins. The 4 elements are identified by indices 0, 1, 2, 3. The 4 elements have values of 2, 3, 4, 5, which represent pin numbers. At the bottom, we have the loop that sets the pins to low. The names in the expressions are wrong. They must be actual variable names, usually the same variable for all 3. The most serious problem is a very common mistake. In the loop to set the pins high, the middle expression indicates when to stop. That should be less than or equal to 3. As written, this raises an interesting situation. A single equal sign will assign the value 3 to the variable named current LED index. Since that simple assignment will be done successfully, the loop considers it a true and repeats the loop forever. And every time, it will always be setting index 3 to high. So we get the observed result of the pin 5 high and nothing else happening. The hardware side has a resistor for pin 2 going to the 5-volt rail instead of the ground. To review, in the code we fixed the syntax problem with declaring a list and with using an actual variable name in the for loop expressions. Then we switched from using a single equal sign to using lesser than or equals. And in your circuit, always double check that the component leads are into the proper rails. Here's a tip. When you build a circuit, try tilting the board to look down the rows and columns. Often it will be obvious if there's a lead into a wrong row or a wrong rail. In this episode, I'm adding a master's challenge. Let's see who's first to find a mistake and post it in the comments section.